said, Java Tens podcast. We hold it down. They know what's now.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back for another episode of the Java Tears podcast. As you can see, it's a lot of men, a lot of beefy men. Pause. I want to say that all day. But anyways, we got a special guest, the owner of Battle Club Pro, Joakim Morales, is in the building. Hi, how are you? How are you, brother? How are you? By the way, I know everybody's in the comments like, oh my God, where's Janelle? She is on assignment right now in the windy city of Chicago, chilling and macking, lacking all cool, shooting some b-ball outside of school when a couple of guys. Okay, that made no sense. All right, guys, we are here. Joakim, how you feeling, man? How's everything going? Are we in post-COVID yet?
I don't think we're in post-COVID. I think we're approaching a time where we can be a little more normal, but as long as we keep it safe, I think we can definitely start waking the world back up.
Yeah, okay. Any plans for the show? Any plans for the company? What's going on? Anything in the works?
So yeah, we're May the Franchise Reign. It'll be in May. It'll be memorable. A lot of memories in May. The official date will be out soon. We're going to crown a new franchise champion. And I think it's going to be crazy to come back because we're going to come back big. We're going to come back big.
Okay. How has it been since like dealing with all of this with the company having to shut down a little bit? Like how has it been on your mental? And what have you seen within the independent scene since the shutdown?
It's been tough, it's been tough to not be able to do live events. It's been hard thinking of things because there was a point in time where we're going to try to do something in September and then the world shut back down. And then it sucked not being able to do an anniversary show for the 4th year. We're actually going into our 5th year. So it was really tough. Having these ideas and not being able to pull the trigger, New York constantly back and forth with what's available and what's allowed and what's not. As far as the indies, I'm glad to see that a lot of places have been trying their best to run safe with the COVID protocols. Clearly, you still have some people who think it's not as big a deal as what it is, and you have people packed to the gills. I don't think that's safe. I don't think when we are operating again, we're going to be like that. But what I can definitely say and give a huge shout out to is AEW, because they have been employing a ton of independent talent. They just recently opened up a 3rd show, and it's just talent after talent. It's like, hey, I've used that person or I've worked with that person. I'm friends with that person, and it's good because a lot of this independent talent doesn't necessarily have a full-time job. So to get that payday from AEW, to get the exposure on top of the payday, has been excellent on their end.
Mm-hmm. I'll have my issues with AEW, but the one thing I will give them is that they are employing a lot of independent wrestlers throughout the time that they've been on television and being a company in general. They just given a lot of jobs and a lot of spots to guys who probably wouldn't be working right now. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I will generally be able to always respect them for, is giving these independent wrestlers talent. I still feel some type of way that they didn't put my girl on because she was too popular, but it's okay. It's all right. It's
Who are you talking about?
Yeah, we'll talk off camera. We'll talk off camera. I'll like put it out there like that, but homie was too popular, so they said, well, now we can't use you. So it's okay. It's okay. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
that's entertainment for you.
It is. So let's talk some wrestling. But first, have you guys watched anything outside of wrestling lately?
That Snyder Cut dropped today, man. I'm gonna try to watch that tonight.
What?
The Snyder Cut of Justice League?
That shit is 4 hours of my life I'm gonna need to put aside, bro.
All right. So hold hold on, 4 hours aside, but I got 7 hours of wrestling in before the podcast worked. So come
I know,
on.
no, I understand, but I hated the first one, the original one,
Yeah,
before the Snyder cut, because it was really bad.
yeah.
Like really, my biggest thing is the CGI is so trash.
Especially on Superman. Especially on Superman.
God, it's like, yo, I know y'all got money. Yo, whatever Marvel's using, why couldn't y'all use that too?
And what's crazy is, to go along with what you're saying, like at the end of Mandalorian season 2, you had a young Luke Skywalker, and that deep fake wasn't good. You had a fan do it at home, and it was better. So it's not about money; it's just about the ability with CGI. And for all my Latinos, 2 days ago, Mayans MC just came back out. That was great. My jaw hit the floor several times. So if you're a fan of Sons, give it a try. It's definitely a dope show.
Nah, I've been watching Snowfall. You ever watched it?
Is that like the Snowpiercer spinoff?
No. So Snowfall is a show set in the 80s during the crack epidemic, and it follows the story of a kid who turned into like a big time drug dealer. But it also talks about how the U.S. involvement with Nicaragua and South America helped bring the drugs into America. So it's a whole story on that, and it was John Singleton's baby project before he passed away.
Oh, okay.
So he was heavily involved in it, and it's just amazing. Any Snowfall fans out there, they will tell you that this show is probably top 5, maybe top 3 on television right now because it's storytelling.
How deep are they getting into the U.S. government's involvement? Because I've heard personal stories about homies in places like L.A., Chicago, Detroit, finding abandoned trains full of drugs and guns. Like, I've heard people tell me that. Like, yes, that has happened. Have they covered that?
They covered it 100%. One of the main characters is an FBI agent.
Oh, snap. So yeah, it's definitely worth a look. I'll definitely check that out.
I love those stories. What you been watching, Mr. Black?
I finished watching Last Chance U basketball.
I heard that. I started watching that too.
Yeah. Like, it's a little bit easier to like keep up with all the players, because I think the maximum players they can have on a team is 15. I think 12. I think it's 20. 15 suited and 5 on the benches on the patch squad, whatever the terminology is, but it's cool. I've been watching that. I've been catching up on Beast Wars. I've been watching. I've been a lot of watching like 90 Day Fiance. I've been catching up on I've been catching up on King. Like, I've been watching King of the Hill. I've been watching Close Enough. I finished that. I finished watching. It was some Rachel thing I was watching the other day about race issues and stuff like that. But yeah, so basically that's in a nutshell what I've been watching in general, though. I finished WandaVision, like everything. And I've been playing Final Fantasy, and that's it.
Oh, it's free now.
Yeah, I know.
I downloaded it the other day.
I know. I downloaded it and I've been playing it. So,
so let's jump into the week of wrestling. Before we any thoughts off the top of your heads about what happened this week in wrestling?
Behind her eyes. All right, copy.
Anything off the top of the head that you want to touch on first?
The women killed it this week.
Let's dive in. Let's talk about it.
All right. Well, AEW Elevation, you had Rio and Makioto main eventing, and then 2 days later, that Britt Baker Thunder Rosa match. Jade Cargill looked incredible. I mean, you can just anything AEW did with the women, it might have been fast, but it was great. Swole popped up and did what she does. I'm excited for Io Shirai and Raquel Gonzalez.
100%.
Right. There's the women have been on the forefront, especially this week. So it's been from what I'm seeing, it's her business, and then AEW pushing women. I love it.
It was really good. Mr. Black, you can go, and I'll tell you my thoughts on the Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa match. What do you anything off the top of the head?
Yeah, like I agree with Joakim with the whole women thing, but again, like they don't. When it comes to the Japanese women, I don't know them. Like, I'm sorry, Rio match, I'm not into it, like at all. They don't present Rio how to present the Japanese women. It seems like they put them in their own little bubble, and every other women they present them in the right way, such as Big Swole. Every American wrestler, they put a great video package. You invest into them. You go behind their lives. But yet, when it comes to these Japanese wrestlers, I get why, because a lot of the fans of AEW are hardcore wrestling fans. You know, they love the Japanese style. They love these Japanese women. They've been following them since 92. That's great for y'all. That's great for y'all. But for me, yo, you don't interest me at all. You know why Asuka and all those Japanese women in WWE work so well? Yo, because they presented them in a good way. You know, that I was excitement. I was like, oh, yes, I don't know who's these women, but I got behind it. Let's even go back to TNA days. Hamada, they made her the big deal, even though towards the end, when Hogan and the rest of them came, kind of ruined her. But that's a whole other topic for another day. But nevertheless, though, they presented her the right way. You know, even with NXT UK, with that legendary Japanese woman, I know something about her because they gave us information. So it's cool, but again, it's great. But then on the other hand, looking like, who are these other women? Why should I invest into this woman? Give me a video package. Give me something to like grasp onto them. Just like if someone like Jin, right? When he won Freestyle Friday, right? They still presented him. They gave him a backstory to sell to the American audience. Simple. Somebody who's not of your culture, you got to present in a way that how to make them relatable on a basic level. Like, let's say how that Jen came from poverty. Okay, I can relate to that. You know, I came from poverty. I came from working hard and stuff like that. They don't do that for none of them. So I'm still kind of iffy when it comes to women division AEW.
There's a couple things you mentioned. The video packages are correct, and you are right that a lot of stuff is done on BTE. And not everybody watches BTE.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of their pitfalls where it's like, you already have your following. So you need to grow beyond that. And I think that's one of their biggest like pitfalls within the company is like, they don't go beyond that very hardcore and loyal circle that they have, which is beautiful. If you can get consistently 700 people to follow your shit consistently, that's a beautiful thing. And they do about 500,000 on YouTube. So they got the hardcore, but they need to go beyond that, because what you mentioned, I don't know a lot of people. Also, the Joshi style of wrestling doesn't. Hey,
listen. Out of French college, what does Joshi mean?
Joshi, so that's what they call a lot of the Japanese women wrestlers.
That sounds kind of OD racist. Josie, like, but
no, that's what they call them. That's what they call.
Why they call them Josie for? Where did that terminology root from?
But
that's the audience.
It's the term. It's the term. So it's like when you're an American or a foreigner, you're particularly like American. You're a gaijin when you're in.
I know that one. Yeah, gaijin. Yeah,
it's like your term for.
Oh, okay. Just like in America, we call them aliens. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right, cool.
Yeah, so I love it because it's fun and interesting, but the thing about it, they need to evolve it so the American audience can connect with it.
I agree.
And I think and that's their in-ring style, where yes, you can do what you're doing, but evolve it in a way that everybody connects with it. Because these girls are these women are super talented. It isn't like they can't wrestle. But we got to put it in a way where we can connect with it. Because that's all at the end of the day, you could be the best in the ring. If you ain't connected to the crowd, it doesn't matter.
But let me ask you this. What is like every wrestling company has their style. Impact have their style for the men and the women, and more something like in the middle for everybody. Usually that's where they start and they go from there. You know, you can't expect a woman to do what a man do, right? WWE, you have WWE style, whatever. What is exactly the AEW style? Like,
But
what is that? And that's the problem.
But it's not. There isn't one. And that's because they're still a new company and trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And they also got to figure out how to work for TV and connect with the audience. Joakim, what do you think?
Well, I think AEW's style is that it's an open canvas. It's kind of like abstract art. Like, we're gonna paint as we go. They try to give you a ton of everything. You know, they give you a bit of comedy. They give you, you know, the foreign style. You know, a big emphasis on showcasing independent talent. You know, you get everything from cinematic matches with Sting and Team Taz to the hardcore brawls. They're not afraid of blood, which is kind of refreshing, especially if you grew up in the Attitude Era. I think with them, it's wide open. But I agree that there needs to be some kind of production value added to make these foreign women connect with us better. I think they were trying with Maki having the Dark Order like worship her, and
Yeah,
you know, she had the whole entrance where she was singing kind of like, "Hey, here's a kin to K-pop." So they're trying, but you're right, they're coming up short.
Also, you mentioned the Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa match. I want to get each of you guys' thoughts on this one. One of the I loved it. They told a story of basically, I don't like you, I'm going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
Simple and easy. And they got the time, I think it was 20 minutes, 30 minutes, that they got to wrestle each other. A good amount of time they got to wrestle. They main evented. They blood, gruesome, unsanctioned, you know, tables, ladders, thumbtacks, all of that. I liked it. But then again, did you bust the nut? Now, what are we going to do next? That's the question I got. What is next now? Because, yes, it was the main event. Yes, it was St. Patty's Day. They did a whole thing to, you know, whatever. But what is next now? Because go ahead.
So obviously the next thing is to top that, but you know, you have these, you know, quote unquote gimmick matches, you know, whether it's a cage, whether it's and like a cinematic style match, and then you can do what a lot of companies do is you put forth a similar match with different talent to see if they can outdo them.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the greatest match technically. There were some issues here and there, but they really killed it. You know, Rebel taking that table bump was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. You know, I thought she was just going to be on the outside. The thumbtack was a really nice touch, even with the simple reversal of Britt's finisher to roll her onto the thumbtack to break the hold. Like, they used what they had very well. They used their assets to the best of their abilities. And like you said, they told a story. We hate each other. Let's kill each other. And Rosa came out looking like a superstar after that.
Yeah. Like 1,000%. They both superstars end up looking good. You know, both superstars benefit from it. Like it was a good match. You know, have I seen better women's matches? Yes. You know, I seen at this is why people should go to Battle Club. Yeah. Mia Yim versus Tessa Blanchard. Oh my gosh. These women killed each other.
High Spot Podcast Match of the Year that year.
But guys,
well, hold on.
What are we doing next?
Oh, right. But the thing about it is, I got to keep the same energy I keep with WWE. You know, I can't be like, oh, WWE, let them give them time, give them a story. But AEW, what's next? Is I don't know what's going to happen next. And real talk, yesterday's show, it showed me as a fan of just wrestling as an entirety that, yo, they trying. They literally are mother effing trying. I give them that. Trust me. Seeing Pentacle versus Cody Rhodes, I didn't think I want to see that. Now I want to see that. Low key, I think he's a liar because he speaks perfectly good English, but that's a whole other story. That is dedication to his character. Like, I'm sorry, when I met him, perfect English. I'm like, dogs, man, you lied to me, man. I was like, but you're a great wrestler. I believe you speak no English. I like that. But nevertheless, though, it gave the guy from BTE, that Spanish dude that he does Spanish commentary, another opportunity to show off his skills on television. Everyone eat on that show. So I'll give them some time because I like seeing Christian. Like, Loki was talking to the fans. He said, I'm not here to take no one's spot. I'm not going to go catapult it to the top. I'm going to build myself up. And that's a good storyline. Even John Silver getting a chance at the TNA title. They're trying.
They are. But the thing is, because my whole thing is, y'all gave us that. What is really going to be next? Is this feud over, first of all? Because it was a blood feud. But if the feud is not over, if you don't end the chapter with that, what are you going to end it with? You can't, because now you got to do something ridiculous. You have to do a cage match. I felt that they should have not went that far yet. Like, gave us a teaser towards something going far, then hit us with something even better next time.
But that's the thing. Maybe they're gonna take it another level. You can do a
you never know.
match.
They might do you never know. They might do a Japanese death match.
Yeah, a death match. They'll make sure the fireworks are better this time. You can do a flaming table match. Like, there's so much you can actually do. And again, that cinematic match, Sting and Team Taz with Darby Allin, like, let the women get a crack at it.
They did. They did. It was Brain Breaker versus Big Swole in the dentist's office.
No, but I'm saying, like, you let Britt and Thunder, like, you elevate.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, keep asking what's next. Well, I don't think the feud's over, so you go from there. Last women, you can do first blood, so then you can get all the teasing of a cut, and it doesn't actually happen. You can do an Iron Woman match. Like, there's a ton you can go from there. There is.
Ooh, Iron Woman.
They needed the match. Somebody said that they needed the match as a statement because to establish themselves, like, yo, we are taking the women's division seriously. Because Britt, I'll give Britt something, because I even came at her online. I was just like, she's been saying be patient, and we've been patient, and we see what they did, because also we talked about Jade having another match on the show, so they're trying. Let's talk. Did you guys watch NXT?
Yeah. They broke it down. Shout out to World Culture. Shout out to y'all.
Biggest thing is Walter.
Yeah. When Walter came in and I mean, that powerbomb was filthy. It was a shock because, like, NXT kind of has this stigma of guys in a certain weight class and with a certain like kind of height requirement, I guess. Walter is he's imposing. So when he comes in, you're like, oh, this is a different kind of animal. And it opens the door because you got some people like Adam Cole, Tommaso, who are going to stay NXT forever. It looks like, anyway, you're not sure. But Walter can take that step up, and then you get Walter and Lee, which we saw in the Indies, but you can see it on the main stage. You can get Walter and Drew. You can get those WWE kind of standard guys, those big monstrous guys. Sheamus Walter, Lashley Walter, like that's the idea. Walter. So when you have Walter come in and he's like, not only is he super physically imposing, especially on the NXT stage, what is next? Like you asked earlier, when it comes down the line.
There's something, but I want to see.
Hold on. Did Walter come out with the championship?
Yeah. He's what is it? 700 days or some shit.
Something like that.
He's the modern day Bruno. I love, honestly. You know why? How I love Walter. How they build him up at UK. Because when someone takes him down, it's going to be such a big deal because he cemented the legacy of that title. Like, traditionally, they do stuff differently over there. I'm hyped that they kept that tradition alive over there. In the US, we like different, most people get chances and stuff like that. No, that's how we do it. But the fact he dominated and each match, I never felt that he cheated the fans out their money. I felt that you got your $10 worth for the network and plus more. Like it's like you get in the DVD and they give you like free stuff. No. It's like when you go to the movie theaters, B. And then not only go to movie theaters, you got a free ticket because you're doing good in school. And there's a movie theater that you can bring snacks. Oh my gosh, that's a good day. That's
one of the things about Walter is that you mentioned, and I want to highlight that, is he doesn't cheat the fans out of a match. And the thing is, dude doesn't do anything fancy. And I want to think about it. Think about a typical Walter match. Is there anything fancy he does?
It's all impact. It's all brute force. It's like, someone said modern day Bruno Sammartino. I'd probably take it a step further. It's just like he's what someone as vicious and vile as Warrior is, but he can actually wrestle. So he gives you everything with that brutality. And it's just like, everyone does the chop and everybody gets the woo chant. When he does a chop, he caves your chest in. It's something as simple as that. It could be a shoulder block, and it's just his stature just towering over you once you drop. It's just like everything he does is impressive because he not only does it with brute force, he does it well technically.
And that's the thing with him is that he's telling that story. I'm a big dude. I'm gonna fuck you up.
Facts.
The only person that I feel does that in the wrestling scene, including the independent circle of being a big dude and I'm gonna fuck you up, is JD Drake. I love JD Drake, and I think he's a fuck you up type of dude.
Yeah, of course, he's great. I don't know if I would say he's the only one.
It's one of my favorites, but you can tell me one of yours.
I mean, you don't really have to get out the Northeast. Danny Moff.
I'll give you that.
He comes in there, he's gonna hurt you. He's gonna put a beating on you, and you might want the match, but you might regret getting the match. But I get what you're saying, like that energy, like, oh, this ain't gonna end well for you. Even if I lose, you're gonna end up being the loser once it's said and done.
Somebody said Moss, Drake, Walter, etc. It's hey guys who are watching. Give me like 3 or 4 names of guys you think just brute force fuck you up type of feel that they have. Leave it in the comments real quick. But yeah, that I'm excited because I want to see what he does with Tommaso Ciampa. I want to see what story homeless Tommaso Ciampa can do with that hair. You gotta cut his hair, B. You gotta cut his hair.
The hope and the ROH fan in me is like you get that Sicilian psychopath back because that's what it's gonna take. It's gonna take him like, oh no, he has to hurt this dude. Like he'll get a match with him and just get DQ'd, but he puts that imprint on him. Like he beats him down with a chair. Like, I don't care if I'm lose. I'm gonna wear you down to a point where then when we have a match, I can win. It's like remember the Brock Angle match where Brock purposely got DQ'd because he knew if I beat him this bad, I can get 2, 3, 4 falls over him. So it's like that's what I'm hoping Tommaso, he comes with like, all right, the bell rings, immediately get disqualified, but he's gonna leave an imprint on you. The whole Tony Stark making Thanos bleed. It's like once you've made a god bleed, there you realize they're beatable. 300. Leonidas didn't mean to kill him. He just wanted to show he's not impervious to pain.
And that's the beauty. But let's stay on NXT and let's talk about an NXT legend who's been having some issues in WWE as of late. Andrade supposedly asked for his release the other day on the taping of WWE Raw. And just recently today, as of this recording, he said the rumors are true. He doesn't know what the future holds. Fellas, what are your thoughts on Andrade asking for his release? Joakim, you can go first because you are the guest. Mr. Black, you can follow.
He is money, like the history books show the only 5-star NXT match he was involved in. What I would personally like to see is whatever MLW is cooking up in terms of that lucha type show, as Tekka, I believe is called. Could you imagine the impact if he popped up on that? Like, okay, I'm here to take this over and make it mine. Let him get that. I feel with most people who, have it's kind of formulaic, but it always works. You do your run in the E or wherever the big company is. You get let go or you get released. You ask for your release. You kill the indies, and then when you come back, they can't keep you down like they did the first time. They can't deny you. That would be incredible because we already know what he's capable of. And could you imagine a reunion with Zelina? Like, that would be dope for him to hit the indies, especially MLW specifically, but across, the US, you go overseas, whether it's, Great Britain, Australia, like, imprint yourself as one of the best wrestlers in the entire world. I know if the availability is there, I'm going to do everything I can to put him on the show.
Mr. Black, talk to me.
I agree. I think that him and Selena Vega should hook up eventually down the road. And if I was him, I go Impact, because Impact, for some reason, why they know how to get these characters where you just need a couple more training. We let you do whatever, travel the whole world, but over here, we're going to make you a star. If you notice, like, they took the Lucha Bros, they made them a star over there. They took, when it was LAX, made them to the star over there. Like, they just have the talent, the talent, the management, and the whole environment. They have everything, the perfect formula that you need to, like, get you over to the top. Do I want to see him in AEW eventually? Not on full time, but I like that whole missionary, like the whole not missionary role. What's that thing called again when someone hire you to kill people?
Assassin.
Yes, assassin. Come in there, do we have to do this, that, third, in and out. I want him to travel the whole world because it's just a decimate, like, only thing that's really holding him back is his English. And honestly, what I'm hearing, I heard that from many different people, like from who's in the media. They said that he's trying. He's not like sitting back, go, oh no. He's trying. And honestly, you are a big company. You could literally get this man anything he needs. Hey, they say, hey, Charlotte said, yo, I want to put them together. It's been a benefit for both their characters because you see Charlotte a different light, and Andrade, he gets somebody who cares about him. Yes, Selena Vega cares about him, but it's a different level of careness when it's not your boo. Somebody that's going to rub your back at the end of the day and kiss your forehead and say, I love you, daddy. You feel me? That's different. And knowing Charlotte, she's been in business forever. She's gonna little things like that. And I know Charlotte been helping her out, helping him out. I know that. Honestly, leave the E, travel the world, killed it. Meaning that I want to see you on Telemundo's acting. I want to see you on every Spanish network. I want to see you on
CMLL.
Everything to show them that, yo, that didn't present me right. Yo, get your bag. Because honestly, yo, it's a market that needs to be like, it's a market that's been so lacking. So get him out there. Yo, Andrade's, leave the company, dominate the world. Yo, put yourself on the map, boy. So the E, you didn't use him right. I don't appreciate him, B. So go out there and go to people who appreciate. Go to Joakim. He'll give you a big hug and probably pick you up, Say, yes, we're going to cheer you on. Probably get a Job of Tears shirt like, my man. So travel the world, man. I'm happy for him because I know he's going to kill it. That's going to give him extra motivation to get better English. So when he comes back, he's suave, talking like Eddie, like real confident behind him. I want him to win. I'm just so like, I'm excited. F it. I'm excited. The world gets to, any wrestling will be so popping. I can't wait for guys like him.
So I love which each of you guys said. And you guys made a lot of sense of what you guys were talking about. There's a couple of things when it comes to this whole Andrade situation. To me, it's 50-50. Andrade never connected when he was split from Zelina. That was one of their worst moves ever. and they shouldn't have done that. Andrade is one of the best in the ring in this current generation of wrestlers. He's a Mexican legend, and he's amazing. But he's not that charismatic outside the ring. He's probably within, the Latino community, and also he probably really is on the mic. But when it came to like regular American TV, he didn't connect. Now, I say 50-50 because the other 50% falls on WWE. You have a creative team, get creative. Try to find where he's going to work. We understand, okay, you go, damn, he's not that good on the mic, but we're going to separate him from Zelina, who's phenomenal on the mic, who's going to help him put him over. All right.
And she in the gap so well.
Hold on. So you separate that. So then find some way to get him over because the dude is super talented. We as creative has to find a way. The whole English thing, I don't believe that because Alberto Del Rio could barely speak a lick of English. I ain't gonna hold that accent was dumb thick, and they gave him a belt. So I'm a little iffy about that. The one thing I will say is I don't know if remember when he got suspended? I don't know if that affected his run. If that was something that, because Vince is all about, are you available? Are you available so I can use you? Now, that performance, whatever, those suspension affects more people of color. Let's just keep it a buck. Because Randy had a bunch of suspensions. And he kept he was still rolling. But when it comes to Andrade, I think it's a 50-50 thing. The suspension comes from, I don't think he had any like PEDs or anything like that. I think he didn't show up to get tested on time. And if you don't showed up to get tested on time, you automatically get suspended.
Yeah. You're treated
Here's
like
the thing. Here's the story about that. They said that they messed up on their behalf.
Exactly.
The company messed up. And then and now he got in trouble for that. And I agree with you. But the thing about it, he was available.
Hold on. Wait. When it comes to the company, you taking 30 days off, this is just wrestling in general. Joakim will tell you. If you're gone for 2 weeks, there's somebody gonna take your slot. The reason why Kenny is where he's at in Japan was because AJ went to WWE. And then he moved up the card. Now, I really think it's more creative, should have been more creative. Because you had a bona fide star. And once again, I don't think he's that charismatic outside the ring, but you can figure something out. I do have conspiracies about this, because he was low-key a Paul Heyman guy. And then when Bruce came in, Bruce and Paulie don't get along 100%. And if you see that all the people that Paul was trying to push forward were all put on the back burner, except for the Street Profits, like, where's Aleister Black?
You're right.
So, I always say it's 50-50. And he did what he could do best, which is try to learn the language. He did, he presented himself in the right way because the dude got in better shape. His gear was always fire. So he did most of what he could do. But sometimes, you saw what the New Day did. You got to bring them ideas. And you got to be knocking on their door. And I'm going to take it even a step further. Us fans, if you're complaining about the guy not getting love, start doing something online and
show him love.
Show him love.
Buy his merch.
That's the problem.
Like money talks, right? Support him by buying his merch. You see the rise in merch.
It. Because at the end of the day, if his merch starts going up, selling more, holy shit.
I want to tackle the language thing because have you ever heard Kali cut a promo? But he was champ. Kali.
Exactly. It's
when they put the strap on gender, all of a sudden all he spoke was Punjabi. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the language thing wasn't really an issue. Plus, Spanish is the second most spoken language, I believe, in America. He still could have gotten over speaking Spanish. They just didn't want to do it. It might be something like you said. He's a Paul Heyman guy, and they started side-eyeing him when the wrong person or right person, depends on who you ask.
There was many ideas for him. Like the most biggest idea when Ray came back, there was talks of trying to form like an LWO, like some kind of like to that. They took many pictures together. All the Spanish wrestlers, all of them took pictures together to say, "Yo," and got the buzz from the internet. That was one. Charlotte pitched something. You know, I know he pitched other stuff. He was in a tag team. There's so many different opportunities he had that he did his part, but then the other half they didn't follow up through. Why the hell? For months, he was losing to the Street Profits.
I think, honestly speaking, guys, I think it's three factors: the PED suspension, being a Paul Heyman guy, and creative not being creative. Those are my three things of what was the downfall of him. Shout out to Montana Black for pointing that out for me the other day about the PED suspension, because I'm pretty sure that played a factor. Let's just be real. Latino wrestlers are not treated really well. That's
stupid, because just get the best man up, regardless of skin complexion. I don't care if this man is from Mars. If he could shoot us, I don't care. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this, man. If it's not black people, it's Asian people. Yo, I'm sick and tired of what's going on in wrestling. Pick the best man up. That's it.
But we understand that. But with the history of the company, the only reason why, like, Alberto got a title, Eddie got a title. Eddie would have probably been a longer title if his demons didn't take a hold of him. They don't treat Latin wrestlers the best in the industry.
So how you feel about the question that's raised up by somebody said? Someone said,
what's the question?
Dating Charlotte, it's hurting him.
I think that's a missed opportunity. And I'll tie it back all the way to the beginning. You asked what it is I've been watching, and I said Mind's MC. One of the lead characters is married to a very prominent white girl, blonde hair, blue eyes. You could have put that out there. Like, okay, Andrade is now like this force, this kind of, cartel-looking boss. You don't have to make it cartel, obviously. You don't have to make it that nefarious. But, like, all of a sudden, he's a made man, and he has legitimately the queen of the WWE with him. That was a huge missed opportunity. And especially if you want to tie it to what's actually happened with her and Evans before she went out pregnant. She went after his dad. Charlotte could have been like, well, here's the new man. Here's my new man. We are the king and queen of the E. Huge missed opportunity.
There's so much.
You could have had Charlotte. I'm sorry to cut you off. You could have had Charlotte talking for him. If the language was the problem, Charlotte can cut a goddamn promo. You have Charlotte talking on his behalf.
But once again, there's some type of political thing that went down.
Oh yeah, of course it's politics. It's always politics.
So next question: where is Angel Gaza?
Running after 24/7 title
with Gulak and everybody else. Yeah.
This is the main reason why Raw Underground should have not went off the air.
Listen, there's many things that's a factor. I'll say it again. Creative is not creative. Maybe that's it. Or certain people, the bosses don't see as valuable.
Okay, let me give some slack off of creative, because when you hear these former guys, like these former guys on podcasters, shout out to Real Life Cast or whatever, all these dudes. Sometimes you have the best ideas. This is going to work, all of that. And then next thing you know, Vince gets it. I don't get it. Rips. Or Vince gets it and say, oh, this is great, kid. I love it. Here comes somebody named Bruce Pritchard. Oh, I don't get it, Vince. It won't hit it. This, that, third. Matter of fact, let's give it one step closer, or whatever that terminology is. What if everybody's on one page, and then the stockholders get a hold of it and said that makes no sense? So it could be Vince. I don't know. I agree with you. It could be anybody. But at this point, I don't know who could it be, because again, at the end of the day, you hear everybody shoot interviews talk about Vince and Vince all the time. He shoot down good idea. What if Gaza came up to him? Not Gaza. Gerardus came up to him and told him that. Charlotte, the one you put the whole company and women's division on her back. You deny her idea. That gave her more screen time and him, and then you try to tap into the Latin market. You're appeasing you're appeasing intergender relationships from Spanish and white.
Interracial.
My man, sorry guys, I did French college. So interracial couples. So that's that audience. You appease to the white audience and the Spanish audience. That's three different different audiences. And now you're also getting the youth, because a lot of these youths, they're mixed opportunity. That's literally money on the table. Like Joakim said, he could have presented him and said, this is the new king. Remix his song. Woo! That
came
money.
out on a motorcycle, like the Undertaker.
What I had in here.
Oh, you know what? Remember they took that picture with them in all white, looking like Coke Kings.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
gosh.
Charlotte is the host. She was the wholesome American girl, the picture perfect, like blonde hair, blue eyes, tall. And she's got lineage with Ric Flair, and she kind of dips into the dark side. Like, no, this is the king now. This is where I'm rolling with. And everybody like movies like Blow. It's just like, oh, Scarface. You'd be like, oh, the Blanquita now. She's kind of the real villain.
And then
opportunity.
But then you can go off what MrBlacc said, get a couple of other Latino wrestlers, put them in a little group together, and then now you got a squad.
How over would a group called the Cartel have gotten?
Talk to me.
You get Andrade, Garza, you get, you have Dominic turn on Daddy, like you do it like, oh, these are gangsters. And like, while Andrade's like the figurehead, Charlotte's actually the one pulling the strings.
Bro.
They got NXT UK. They got NXT. Like they got that the cruiserweight champion. Keep him at that same level.
Right,
elevate him. Right. Say, yo, you come down there. You have tag team matches with him on the main rock.
Remember right before New Day actually started, and everybody thought it was going to be a serious thing. You have it like you have the Lucha House Party job to somebody. You get Andrade, no music, just walks down, whispers in their ear. The next week, Lucha House Party is serious. The playfulness, like the Cartel, like, oh no. And then you do little things. Like nothing is actually happening unless Andrade signs off on it. So it could be something simple like Austin Theory trying to get into the Performance Center, and the Lucha House Party is like, you're not welcome. You're not on the list.
But somebody said fans today would call it racist too fast and not give it a chance. But
you said that, yeah.
I'm gonna push back on that.
Okay.
You gotta take chances. You gotta mix reality with the WWE universe. And you gotta push the envelope. At this point, we talk about the reality era. This is reality. This does happen in real life. This is stuff that goes on. And if they sign off on it, then it's not racist. If they're like, yo, they come with the idea, then it's a little different.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this real quick. You're right, because if you notice, right, back in WWE days, there's something called gang warfares for that theme song for that Survivor Series. So I was chilling in the crib, and I said, what was going on during that time? Gang warfare in LA.
Yep.
They applied it to television and represented every gang that was out on the streets. Then it was hot. Look at it back on it. It felt was too much, but it made sense. Nation of Domination. You know, how about like the guy who got cut off his penis? They apply that to the storyline. It's funny. Yo, honestly, I think that they should do stuff in reality because honestly,
that's the stuff that gets over is when you can tie it to real life.
Because you're gonna feel it, and the thing is, you may say it comes off a little racist, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. When you see somebody that looks like you doing ill shit, you're gonna go, "Oh, I'm invested." Because technically speaking, Roman Reigns is a heel. But I bet you when he steps out for WrestleMania, he's getting a fucking pop. Because remember, it's going to be in front of fans.
Exactly.
If you put Andrade in a position where he gets TV time, he looks cool, he is fucking people up, he looks like a boss. Fuck the racist shit. You just got a whole gimmick that's going to get over with everybody. Because, like my brother said, so many people will be invested into that storyline. Now, speaking of shit not going nowhere, let's talk about Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, their match going into WrestleMania. What do you guys think about this build-up? What do you guys think? Go ahead, brother.
I'm sorry, but before we jump into that, because that's something that we actually absolutely need to address. I have a question and a comment. The question is, what's more racist? A typical Hispanic gimmick that doesn't get over and then the talent gets released, or touching reality, something people can, actually connect with and then pushing that forward, especially like you said, if it's signed off. What's more racist? A lucha house party because they're supposed to be all fun and games and not actual serious wrestlers, or something like a cartel type stable where no, we're serious, we're taking stuff over. That's first. Now, comment before we move on. TNA gets lost in the shuffle, Impact, whatever you want to call them, they get lost in the shuffle. They treat foreign talent and people of color so much better than a lot of people give them credit. Lashley was there, McIntyre, how many Black said LAX went over and got over there. Like they have always done, Sanjay Dutt, look at was it Rajit? Like, they have always made it a point to like, yeah, we're gonna try to do the best, the best man up should be the next man up. And they've always done that regardless of how the person's looked.
I'm going to say this too.
One thing, but before you go, Mr. Black, I do want to mention NXT. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Legada del for you know what I'm talking about. The Latin group.
Sol? I think it is.
Yeah. But they have a cartel type of feel.
Right.
Suited up, booted, real like assassin type of I'm gonna take you guys out type of feel. And look how over they have gotten. Now, you take that, like you just said, and put it on the next level, the bigger stage, which is Raw, SmackDown, more money behind it, more eyes behind it.
Yep.
And it'll get even more. But Mr. Black, say what your thought was?
You said something like if it's dope, it's not racist, right? If it's dope, like someone mentioned this. Look at it right now. They says people think that Apollo New Gimmick is racist, but it works. The president, my bad. The prime, what do you?
It's the president aid.
The presidential aid?
Yeah, presidential aid.
The presidential aid. That's basically the vice president, right? In their language or something like that, right?
But he's in the cabinet. He's in the cabinet.
He retweeted that and said that I approve of this. You know why it works? Because he's Nigerian. And
it's real.
It's real. And people say, "Oh, his accent is so forced." I said, "My dude, that's not his natural accent. It's American accent. That's him. It's going to sound for Joakim. When you are imitate your grandmother, your mother, you're going to put on an accent. I don't think it's racist. I'm going to go, oh, you funny, Joakim. Yeah, I've seen her doing that. We're going to laugh. My brother imitate our parents and our cousins. We're going to laugh because we're Haitian. We're allowed to do that. And guess what? The whole spirit thing, I like that he took away the power that they have so long ago, how it was racist. He took that power and put his power into his own people. I love that. He brought in 2 military guys. Yo, in Africa, that's common to see leaders with 2 military guys. Just because he's in camouflage, it's an issue. But yet, when the president walks around 2 guys with suits, it's okay though, right? Which that makes no sense. Like my brother said, if it works and the guy said that it's okay, people say, "Oh, Vince on the point of accent." Nah, how you know that if Vince talked to him? Like Vince, people think that Vince is really dumb, really that dumb. Certain stuff get through the cracks, but that's with everything in life. So, like my brother said, if it works, it works. But if a talent got released for like it works. So I'm happy. So go ahead.
So quickly before, because I want to mention something. You mentioned Vince and everything of that nature and the racism. So when Leo was moved up from NXT to the main roster to work with Bobby, right? Remember when Bobby started feuding with Kevin Owens at first?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they were setting up the feud, whatever. And Kevin was like, "What should I call Leo?" And I think Vince was like, "Oh, I don't know, call him like his Bobby's handler." Kevin was like, "Nah, that sounds a little racist. Like that doesn't sound. I don't want to say that." And then Vince is like, "Why not?" He's like, "Because it doesn't sound right. It sounds racist." And then Vince was like, "Okay, what do you think?" And the reason why I mentioned that is because this isn't 1992, 1995. This is 2021, and wrestlers are going to speak up if something just sounds absolutely racist.
Yep.
So they're going to say something, and Vince is not going to be like, "Let's still do it." No, he's like, "Oh, my bad. I didn't know that. Okay, let's switch it." Which is what happened with the Bobby Lashley and Leo situation, where they were like, "Nah, we're not going to say that word." And that was just my little thing. But let's move on to Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. What do you think is going on with this feud right now and the build up for it? What are your thoughts on it, Mr. Black? You can go first.
I hate to say this. I'm kind of gonna give it more time. I'm gonna wait until like after Sunday, next week Friday, but hopefully that I'm wrong. But it feel like they try to diminish the feud so they don't have to main event WrestleMania one of the nights. That's how low-key make me feel a little bit. I could be wrong. Hopefully I am wrong. Hopefully they could ramp it up right after, because these women are money. You know, I said this on a previous podcast, on our podcast, and on the Backstage Brawl. Shout out to them. The barbecue episode. That's definitely in the link tree. It will be in link below. And I said it. I said, like, there's too much they could do. And, like, it definitely display what modern day Black women are. Like, yes, they may be on Sasha girly, but yet they'll still whoop your ass. Some of them know different kind of mixed martial arts. Some of them will get dirty with you and still watch wrestling, but be girly at the same exact time. Bianca represents the woman now where the girls out here who want to play sports, who want to get dirty with the dudes, but yet feels like I still want to be girl at the same exact time because I know how to sew and do all of that. It's you should have been build this up. You should have got Bianca on ESPN. You should have got her next to Serena Williams. You should have got her all these Black women or women, just women in general, especially for this month. Why these women are not ESPN? Why? Especially for Women History Month? Or are you going to wait till next month when it comes to WrestleMania where you can set this up now, get people more familiar? Like, the build-up is stupid, it's ridiculous, and it don't get me excited. Hopefully, it could be a better told story after Sunday. So I'm praying that I'm wrong, and WWE said that, haha, you're wrong. But right now, I ain't feeling the build at all.
Joakim.
Yeah, the build is definitely lacking. I'm right there with Black. I hope that it picks up after Fastlane, because they deserve to. I mean, if it's 2 nights, and it's a, you ideally it's a 50-50 then men and women. Maybe the women should have at least one night where they main event. Whether they do or don't, I am super confident that they're gonna kill it. The match is gonna be incredible. Black girl magic is a real thing, and that's gonna be on display whichever night they're on, whether it's night 1 or 2. But yeah, the build is lacking. I don't know why. that idea of having Bianca with Serena is incredible. Sasha is the legit boss. You start having her do more prominent things with black business owners. Like, could you imagine Sasha and Oprah having a sit down, like boss to boss? You know what I'm saying? But then that's also WWE's. They're kind of, it's trepidation. Like, they don't like working with entities that could be considered bigger than them, and that it shows because there's just millions of missed opportunities. That was 90 acres in Atlanta, or the 13 black families that got together. How dope would it have been? Like, Sasha pulling up, like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what we're working towards. This is the kind of change, boss to boss. Belair being, she does something with the WNBA. How great would that have been? Like, athlete to athlete, boss to boss, and then you build from there. It always bothers me how they're always reluctant to work with entities that might be considered bigger than us. They've only actually ever dabbled with ESPN. Why not take that relationship and make it full force? Like, I don't understand it. So yeah, the build has been lackluster, and you have millions of avenues to go to make it better, to make it worthwhile. And these women deserve to have at least one of those two WrestleMania nights be main evented by them.
They good points, guys. Shout outs to y'all for that. I'm 100% agreeing with you guys on everything you guys just said. The build-up has been very lackluster. It hasn't been good. We're not seeing them build up to a match that you wanna see. It's still like we're still iffy what's going on. We do have another 3 weeks, like Black mentioned, so we'll see what goes on with that. But I'm gonna say something real quick, and I said it to a friend of mine's. Sasha needs to lose, and the reason why Sasha needs to lose, because she needs to develop the boss character to something else. Now, hear me out.
I'm listening.
We build up to it's not ever going to happen, but a Rock, Stone Cold type of build up where Bianca's like, I need this to solidify my legacy. This is my journey. This is my destiny to be champion at WrestleMania. We build that up. They fight. They lose. Remember, Sasha's on top of this hill. Imagine her falling off the hill like any great champ has. Give her, remember when Ronda Rousey went on that tear and she finally lost and she was broken down and destroyed mentally? Put Sasha in that. Let's see her open another avenue. Become a psychopath. Become something like, yo, I never lost really in my career. This was my spot. I was on top of the world. And she drops down like drunken at home, like broken down, like a complete mental breakdown because I lost at WrestleMania. And then you develop something more than past this boss character, which I think is getting a little, it's stale. It's really getting stale because I've always said this on the podcast. Once you move from NXT to the main roster, whatever character you have has to develop into something bigger.
Yep, I agree.
And
you're right.
The women's division gets a little, it gets lucky because it's not as big. So you can pull off what you were doing in NXT. But one of the beautiful things about why I love Bayley, I think Bayley's number one currently of the 4 horsewomen, is that she's developed a character. She's gone up and down into these different avenues and twisted and turned and done things. Becky is another one. She's developed something. Charlotte really hasn't changed. Sasha really hasn't changed. And that's the reason why I think us fans get like, yo, I'm tired of this. Because stuff does get stale. It's been in the fridge for too long. It ain't tasty no more.
That's a good point.
So
Not even
I think we need to take Sasha, have her lose, become this broken champ, take her off TV for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Do a vignette of her mess the fuck up. Now imagine seeing that from the girl that was the boss. Because think about it, she's been riding high on this boss thing. Every boss has losses, and major losses.
But you have to understand, Sasha always loses. She don't hold the title for long. Someone said this in the comments, but she lost at WrestleMania so many times.
She lost at WrestleMania so many times, but bounces back real quickly. But imagine her. But imagine her losing again at WrestleMania, and it's like I've lost so many times.
So I see where Wilkins is coming from, because there's a slight difference. Like when they had Miz cash in on Drew so that Bobby could beat Miz, Drew has when he came back, he's had to prove that he's worth being up here. So if you had Bobby come and beat Drew, it knocks Drew back down. It's like all the work was pointless. Sasha is established that she's here. So Bianca beating her won't knock her off because she's still main event. She's proven she's main event. It's a subtle difference. Drew had to prove he was up there, and if you knock him down too quickly, everything was for naught. But Sasha's here. So when she takes that L, it elevates Bianca to prove that she's main event level as well. But now Sasha has to become something bigger and better. She's got to prove that this time around, the loss at WrestleMania isn't like the losses before, because she wasn't at the level she's at now that she was when she had those losses before. So it's a twofold. You're right.
Dang, because
because it's like she loses at WrestleMania, she comes back, a couple months later, she wins. It doesn't mess her up, but you got to get on this. I always think about the psychology of why we love certain things. Why do you fall in love with a character? And why Bianca does deserve to win, but this will build Bianca's legacy. But at the same time, this continues to tarnish Sasha's legacy. This is two legacies going head to head, and they need to develop that. The psychological point of why do we fall in love with a wrestler? Because we connect with it. We feel whatever they're feeling.
That is
and it goes back to any sports. Like, why do you want your favorite basketball player to win? To solidify the legacy. Oh my God, I love them. But then you're like, I want LeBron to win so he can prove something. Sasha could be the LeBron of the thing where, because she's mentioned she's like LeBron, whatever, low key, whatever. Like she's MJ type of thing. But her losing is like, it's gonna mess with you. Because when you're constantly losing, even if you're up top, it messes with your psyche. It messes with, because people always talk about LeBron. Oh, he's great, but what is he like? 3 and 4, no, 4 and 6 in the finals,
something like that. 5 out of 10, so 4 out of 10, I think.
4 out of 10 in the finals. You think that doesn't mess with his head?
Yeah, of course it does. So he's got to keep proving it.
He got Tom Brady, like to this day, like until he beat Tom Coughlin in the playoffs that year, he was like, you saw the most like, yes, I finally beat them. To this day, he's still scarred about Eli beating him twice. To this day.
Exactly.
And he's the most winning coach in Super Bowl.
But that's all great players. Let's play off of that. But this will open up Sasha's character.
Dang.
This is what we need to develop more of these characters. And I know WWE won't do it, but imagine broken Sasha. Give her that.
But the thing about it is this way, right? All this is a good idea, but we always got to be realistic here. I put all this in the category. Us fans, especially around our age group, we're too sensitive. Somebody is going to make a big deal. Why you have a black woman hair like that? Why you gotta show that her like so like disgust? Like find little things to nag about. And at this point, I have to agree with you how you said by AEW. Forget these fans and do what you have to do.
Because and the thing is, Vince does. I'm sorry to cut you off, but sometimes it's like a parent. I know what's good for you, so I'm gonna give you what's good for you. I'm gonna listen to you because a quality relationship between you and your child. You know, as a teacher, you'll listen to what the teacher tells you sometimes, but sometimes the teacher puts their foot down, and I know what's good for you because I've been here before. I understand the business a whole lot better than you do. But I think we just did a creative session with like multiple people today.
We're hiring if anyone's listening. I mean, we're looking to get hired.
It was good. Like, yeah.
I just think that we need a deeper. She needs to develop her. She needs to develop who she is.
And it doesn't happen overnight.
Huh?
She's got to evolve. Like, what made Jericho one of the greatest? Constant evolution. What made Taker great? Constant evolution.
And you, my brother said something earlier. Like, Charlotte didn't evolve. Like,
no,
I'm thinking about it right now. Like, he mentioned, I'm thinking about it all the time. Thinking like, she was the same thing NXT, all of that. Rhea, the biggest glow up. Shout out to this woman, Rhea Ripley. When she first came to WWE, I was just like, who the hell is a Charlotte ripoff? This is why I hate wrestling. I said, this is why I hate WWE. They hire 4 Charlottes, expecting them to get over. I'm sick and tired of Charlotte lookalikes. I didn't watch NXT UK for a minute. She came back. I said, who is this woman? Did she just sign her? That's Rhea Ripley. She evolved her character. Now, when she evolved the character, it was so big to the point where she was allowed to be on WrestleMania. That loss, I didn't mind the loss if she got the title right back. I didn't mind that loss. And that woman who won this, shout out to her, I forgot her name, it's stuck in my mind. Congratulations to her too, but like, dang, my brother said, evolving your character. Look at Rhea Ripley. Or if you want a case study on the main roster, the greatest example is The Miz. He went from wearing fedoras, shirts, and gloves and shorts to who he is right now. You're right. You gotta evolve your character.
It's needed. But Joakim, talk to me about because you're heavy in the independent scene more than me and my brother. Talk to me about somebody on the independent scene that evolved their character, evolved themselves as a wrestler. Let's put a little highlight on some independent talent.
Are we talking about what we talked about earlier, focusing on independent talent, or like someone, in this case, someone who has evolved to be better?
Whatever you want.
That's a question.
Okay, so let's do somebody that's still in the independent scene that you saw a major growth of them developing their character, of becoming better. Talk to me about Darius Carter. Why?
Darius Carter started, it's subtle changes, but they're impactful. So it's like he was the dude from New Canaan, Connecticut. He was kind of about money and different. And then it was like the crusade for change. The focus was changing the business better. He's got a totally different style. He focuses predominantly on like the British style of wrestling. And then now he's in this phase where he went from the father of change to the all father. Now he's elevating himself into a deity kind of thing. So it's no longer simply, he's the guy who's got money, who's got the nice coat. Like, no, he's stepping up above what he was. Subtle changes. I could go right to our former franchise champion. Bowens was just the guy, part of the WrestlePro crew, the Untouchables with Wayward and that whole stable. And then he kind of did the Power Ranger kind of look gimmick. And then he realized, no, I'm better than this. I'm a 5-tool player. He tied what real life is. Baseball 5-tool players, they can do everything. I can do that in wrestling. And look, he got signed. Like subtle evolutions being better. Those are just off the top of my head 2 examples that I could think of. There's a ton. Icons champ Tasha Steelz. She started, with the Damian Adams school. Just the typical Puerto Rican, but now she's over, the brightest star in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Her and Kiera Hogan elevating that Knockouts tag team division. Subtle changes in evolution into your character that not only can people relate to, but it's actually who you are. And that's what works. You know what would have made Charlotte evolve? That cartel gimmick. Because then you take Queen from I'm royalty to Queen. No, this is different. I run shit.
And honestly, if they want to push the envelope, it might be too shaky if they do this. If they actually start selling marijuana, like it's acceptable. Listen. Listen, that would be. Think about it.
No, you're right. It's just that was a curveball I wasn't expecting.
Because I don't want to say coke because like I feel like coke killed too much people. So if I had marijuana,
right? No, I know what you're saying, especially because it's getting legalized everywhere. You're right.
There's so much that could be done. It's just sometimes people gotta. It's they don't get it 100%. Next thing, we got Fastlane coming up, guys. What are your thoughts on Fastlane being, the throwaway pay-per-view? Anything that you're looking forward to for that pay-per-view?
So again, tying things back up, the Alexa Bliss, Randy Orton thing. You talk about evolution. Alexa Bliss went from a tooth fairy to manager of Buddy Murphy and the other guy. And then okay, now I'm kind of Harley Quinn, and now she's different. She's otherworldly. And then you're teasing the intergender thing. Like this, she's talking about Randy, you're gonna have to get rid of me. Is it a tease for a brand new Fiend? Is it an actual intergender match? Like, is Randy finally gonna put his hands and really do something to this chick? You know what I'm saying? So it's evolution. And with Randy, it's back to evolution. The rookie
evolution. See, I see what you did
right.
there.
See the RNN thing, with the shoulders. Like, here's an RNN update. Then he was the legend killer after being the lady killer. Then he was part of evolution. Now he's on that legendary status where his focus, whatever his focus is, he's going to do what it takes to manifest victory in it. Well, now he just set this guy on fire in real life, but there was this lingering effect that the Fiend had to Alexa. So she's evolved and she's decided, I'm no longer going to play with the women. I want Randy because Randy set my friend on fire. And
I love
it. It builds. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Are we going to get a new Fiend? Are we going to see another evolution of Bray Wyatt's character? Or will we actually get an intergender match between Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton?
I forgot about that. I'm only looking forward for that match. I agree with you. Like, honestly, Randy Orton is the perfect person going against Bray. People forget he's been dibble-dabbling in Supernatural since Undertaker. Like, the perfect I didn't realize that until I watched it on YouTube. I was like, yo, he's the perfect guy. Because his song, I had voices in my head. Like, I'm looking for you're right. I forgot about that.
But once again, hard, something that we've been like the theme of this episode has been the people evolving their character. Another person who's evolved their character, the match that I'm looking forward to, is Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan.
Oh yeah, I kind of see that though. But it's it's gonna be a good match. It's gonna be a good match.
For me, it's the storytelling that's being done, and I just love DB in the ring. That boy good.
Like a 45-year-old aged bourbon. That dude is so smooth in the ring.
And so watching, so to go off of what we've been talking about, Daniel Bryan has evolved his character throughout the years. Cut the hair, cut the beard off. He was a heel for a couple WrestleManias ago of being, Mr. Earth, Mr. Captain America, but a heel version of it. But one of the biggest changes has been Roman Reigns. Because the issue with Roman is that he didn't evolve from the Shield. Still had the same gear.
Yeah.
Music was relatively the same. He changed the thing and put the, whatever. He didn't really evolve from the Shield character, because Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose, went his own way. We saw Seth. Seth is my favorite guy from the Shield, low key, and you saw him develop it to whatever he's. And Seth is another example. Seth is another example of developing the character over the years to different things. Now Roman, the only reason why we love Roman now is because it's different. It's fresh. It's still him, but he's developed himself as a character and a wrestler. Added new moves to his set. Go ahead. You about to say something, Joe?
You know what I was gonna say is being with Heyman, he comes off kind of like a heel Hobbs. Like The Rock You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Militant, big, I'm gonna kick your ass, but he's a bad guy version of it on TV. And it took Heyman being like, let me mold you. This is what you need. And that's what Heyman's always done. Like Brock couldn't talk his way out of a bag. He could rip a building in half, but Heyman was like, hold on, let me give you this. And it built from there. So yeah, the evolution of Roman, it's also impactful because in line with evolution, how long was Hogan black and red, red and yellow, almost 11 years, and then the turn, and it's just like, oh my God, not only does this work, it's refreshing. So Roman was shield, then no shield, but he was still shield. And it's like, oh no, now we have this dude who's like at the head of the table. It's like, it's different. He's still all Samoa, but he's got this, this trust with Heyman where the brain starts circulating. It's no longer just brute force. It's no longer, Superman punching spear. It's going to be different. The typical adage of having a heel use a submission move doesn't really, it's not something that is a common place for a victory. You know what I'm saying? It dabbles, and those kind of things stick out. Like, not only am I a bad guy, I'm going to make the good guy quit. You don't really get that. The good guy's like, oh, he's hype. He's going to make the bad guy quit. And the bad guy's going to cower and try to get DQ'd or figure out a way to not actually lose the match. And you get the thing where he's kind of like all-encompassing. It's almost like an anti-villain thing, because it's like he'll take an L by DQ or whatever and then show up and he's like, I won last week. And it's like, no, you lost by DQ. He's like, who's still the champ? I am. So I won. Like, he's doing that. So it's an all-encompassing thing. And just the tutelage of Heyman, it works, man. I feel bad because when Heyman had Cesaro on the mind, we didn't get that from Cesaro. But it's like it's working so well with Roman because people have associated him with being the WWE golden child for so long. Now he's the heel, which is what people wanted, and it's definitely working.
Go ahead, brother.
No, I would say, one dude I don't get credit for evolving his character, John Cena. Mine is the whole white rapper thing, whatever, is his US Championship run. He evolved OD, because he went from like, yo, I'm on top of the mountain. Like, he was like a legit vet. Like, I'm on top of the mountain. I don't need to do no more. Let me come down and go on. Like, he basically did like a low key, did like a Chris Paul. Matter of fact, Jason Kidd. Like, you did whatever you want. You're top of the world. Now let me give back to the youth. He helped out Roman. He helped out Kevin. He didn't have to win. Like, he didn't have to lose to Kevin Owens the way he did. He didn't have to agree with Kevin Owens putting up the championship and put his feet on his chest or his tie the way he did. He didn't have to agree with that. Like, the fact that he evolved his character in such a subtle way is so, totally dope. Like, he let The Miz destroy them for the WrestleMania build-up. Like, they evolution of character. Some evolution of character. The reason why I brought it up, because some evolution of character is not so obvious. Some evolution of character is to the subtle things in the ring. It's like they change their moves, a little more aggressive. Big E is the greatest example of not changing your character so much, but adding little stuff to it. Because when he fought Sheamus, right? Honestly, that was the test for him. During that time, everyone said, "Oh, he's jokey, blah 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 blah." But yet, him and Sheamus had a blood feud, and he was wearing his little cartoon stuff. But yet, you didn't take him as a joke when he did his move onto the car. He was like, "Yo, this man is serious." The little subtleties, the graphic of it, like his gears ripped up. You see the blood right here, and him walking like, yeah. That's an example of you don't have to change his character so much, but do the little stuff to get it over the hump.
Yeah, this is the beauty about wrestling. I think it's the pageantry, the showcase of what we love and what we connect to. We've seen The Rock go through many phases over his career.
Big Show.
Big Show. Oh yeah. Even Stone Cold has gone through different phases in his career, and this is how you stay relevant. This is how you stay around. This is what gets you paid. Sometimes, creative doesn't want to do it. They don't want to listen. But this is why all three of us love the business and love wrestling because it's these creative characters. So speaking of the business, let's end off the show because we have an independent wrestler company owner here. Let's put a highlight on a couple of independent wrestlers we think is the next step. So Joakim, you do the honors first.
I'm gonna, you want to bring up just talking tag team lineage, like LOD, the Steiners, the Dudleys, Harlem Heat, those tag teams that are like, oh snap, they're 2 stars on as a team, they're 2 stars. There's not one super outshining the other. They're equivalent. I'm gonna go with the Rep. Dave McCall, Nate Carter, those dudes are bad boys. They dominated NYWC. They dominated CZW. We finally got to work with them last January. They had a killer match with Killing Over Culture. Like, you talk about 2 guys who have tag team stardom written all over them. The next 10 to 15 years, once they're contracted, they're going to be like, oh, they're going to be up there with the Street Profits, the New Day. You name tag team wrestling, that's them. They're evolved. They're different. They've got the whole, like, they've got a feel about them that when they come, it's like, not only can I relate to this person, that's what I would do in the ring. And that feel is just like, it's a beautiful thing to watch actually be portrayed in the ring because the connection is automatically there. It's automatic. Those are the dudes you call if you got a problem on the block. You know what I'm saying? You need backup. That's who you have. The Rep. I love the Rep. I hope once everything starts rocking and rolling, we get to work with them again because they're a perfect representation of where the shift in wrestling is turning, and they're doing it together as brothers, as friends, and as a hell of a tag team.
Yeah. Since we're on tag teams, mine are both main events. There are 2 separate tag teams called the main event, and both tag teams are fucking phenomenal. It is these men. There's the main event spelled regular main event, and then there's main event spelled MANE event, and both of these tag teams are up and coming, athletic, can tell stories in the ring, well trained, and I love the fact that one main event is like a circus type of gimmick where you have the ringleader and the line. The other main event is more 2 sports figures types, and that's their gimmick. But both of them can go, and they're young, so the possibilities are endless for what they can do, and that's who I'm gonna spotlight today, Mr. Black. What about you?
I have to choose. Oh, tag team, right?
No, you don't have to. You can do whatever.
We could do singles after this, but tag team. Come on, man. You know that we're gonna choose our guys prolific. Like that trio right there is amazing. Like Isaiah Wolf, Marquis, Tyree. Those 3 men doing the killing it in Warriors. Like if you haven't known about them, look them up. Like these men, like you said, like. Marquis, all 3 of them are stars, individually, but together it's magic. Like they're dudes from many different walks of life, and they're doing it together as not blood brothers, but brothers in wrestling. That to me is beautiful. So that's my tag team for people to look out for. Prolific.
All right, cool. Any singles you guys want to shout out real quick before we go?
All right, I'll go first, real quick. My guy Darius Lockhart. Everybody knows, like, you want a revolution, go to my man Darius Lockhart. Everybody knows, if you've been to Battle Club events, everybody knows, one dude, I'm going to say, Mr. Big Time Yaya. Boy, he's young, but he hungry, son. He's always improving. Look that man up, Big Time Yaya. If you want to see a match of really displaying his skills, Big Time Yaya versus Cam Carter. Watch that match. Second guy is Casey Navarro. He's been on Impact.
You definitely mentioned 3 people, but go ahead.
Yeah.
I got to mention my guys. He's been on Impact. He's been on AEW. And every time he's been on AEW, New Japan, he always making a splash. Casey Navarro, Darius Lockhart, Big Time Yaya. My 3 guys.
Well, what about you, Joakim?
Man. All right, I'll keep the energy with the women. Someone who was just on AEW, Savannah Evans. I mean, you talk about imposing. You talk about someone who has a unique look, and she towers over the competition. I love me some Savannah Evans, and you know, we may be seeing her soon up in Battle Club. But yeah, if I'm gonna keep that energy with women and people of color, and then let's round it out. How about the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich?
I love it.
I love Masha. It's a little taboo to say something like this, but when I see Masha, I get hints of Chris Benoit. She's ferocious. She's quick. She's technically sound. She doesn't need to speak much because she's gonna bash your face in.
I love what you guys are saying. My 2 picks are my first one is Montana Black. I think he's one of the most underrated big men in the industry. He's making his comeback slowly, surely to the game. He has a couple of bookings coming up, and he doesn't get the love that he deserves.
Nope.
Number 2 for me is one of my favorites, Queen Aminata.
Ooh, Queen Aminata!
I think Shorty got it all. Truly think she's a complete package. And once I talked about when it came to main event, I'll say it with her. She is the possibilities are endless for her. And those are 2 of my picks that we have for today. But we're gonna end this. Today was a great conversation. Excellent. A lot of creative talk. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be signing off. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Job and Tears podcast. Shout out to our special guest host, Joakim Morales, the owner of Battle Club Pro. You want to drop off your tell us any of your all those handles that we got, social media handles.
At Joakim Morales, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Battle Club Pro on Facebook, X Battle Club Pro on Twitter and Instagram. We got some stuff cooking. Really excited about that date in May. We'll be dropping soon. But I'll give you guys a nugget, a little exclusive. So everyone who's watching this will have something to be looking forward to. Whenever we do announce the date, it will be 2 shows in one day.
2 shows.
2 Battle Club shows to crown a new franchise champion.
My boy Yaya better be in it. That's all I'm saying. I know he's gonna win it, but I'm putting an atmosphere. Hope Yaya wins because I have the streamers ready for him. Ready.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Before you sign off, please check us out at Legends Bar. We'll be having viewing
party. Yes, be there Sunday, definitely.
Yes. Yeah, for the Fastlane viewing party.
Once again, we have a tournament to determine who will be next up against our tribal wing chief, Sir Wilkins, aka Rico Haiti. Y'all niggas don't know what y'all freaking missing. Y'all niggas don't know what y'all get into. Y'all didn't see the dungeon with the beast.
Y'all over here having a tournament for wings. I just want some legend wings, period.
I'm crying. But the win can't win. So this little tournament y'all may be having, hurry up, because when you get to the Wing King, the tribal Wing King, it's over. So Legends Bar, it's the Wakanda of wrestling, man. So please check us out in the New York area, man. And of course, man, please like us on all social media. I'm gonna sign off. Please like us on all social media, man. And Janelle will be back next week. Please continue to our Instagram. Please check out Sir Wilkins Coffee Talk. Please check out Sir Wilkins Coffee Talk with friends. And please, you support the brand, man. ProWrestlingTees.com.
2.5 Bros, bro. How you forget about that?
Don't forget about 2.5 Bros. Check out other stuff on the network, please. And
Talk. Con mi hermanita.
This is the Job and Tears podcast, man. In the words of HR, #Black Excellence, #We Are Out.
I was over, got the hands in motion. If you go with rolling, no need to focus. Traveling states and over oceans, you gotta wait till your coast chosen. Trying to have lines outside the show like Harry Potter releases at Barnes and Noble.